Don't overthink. I don't do overthinking. Mischa here, Testimonial Guy podcast. Although all the documentation probably still says Table Rush talk show, which I still love. Anyhow, I'm going to tell you on this episode my favorite questions to ask when getting a testimonial. Again, I'm going to tell you on this episode my favorite questions to ask when getting a testimonial. And excuse me, I got the COVID a couple weeks ago, and symptoms weren't too bad, but definitely energy-wise, a lot of days the energy is gone. My energy, or goes quickly, which I guess is just like the flu or anything like that if you've had that, but we've just perhaps slapped the label COVID on it. But point of that whole little COVID ramble bit is that I do still have some of the respiratory lingering respiratory issues. In other words, I cough. I am prone to a little coughing fit if I talk too much, so I may pause every now and then. I was asked, I had this moment, how did I come across this whole testimonial thing? You know what, I'm going to save that for a different episode. Let's just talk about my favorite questions to ask, and some questions that can lead to powerful answers from your customers. So I was brought to Chrome Castle for what was called executive networking events, Chrome Castle Mastermind. And depending on when you're listening to this right now, I went in May of 2022. So as of this recording, I don't know, that's 6 months ago or so, 5 months or so ago. But I was brought there to capture testimonials from the attendees. So it was a mastermind networking event. It was mostly second stage of life people, so second careers, right? A lot of these people had successful corporate careers, exited out of the corporate world, and are now coaches of various sorts, or like nutrition, mental health, all this entrepreneurial coaching kind of a thing, consultants as well. And so there were 40 or 50 people from 6 or 8 different countries. It was held in Chrome Castle. Again, I was brought there to videography the event, take pictures, but also specifically to get testimonials from her participants of her inner circle. Shelley is her name, Shelley Jorgensen. Her company's called Executive Networking Events, and she's got this amazing Facebook group where she combines, or holds space. I think there's 10,000 or so people in there now, but consultants, entrepreneurs, people growing their businesses, a lot of them online, many of them are brick and mortar and online. But yes, so Shelley Jorgensen, Executive Networking Events. I can't remember the name of her Facebook group right now. But Google Shelley Jorgensen and or Executive Networking Events, and you'll find her Facebook group, and you can join it. But she's very powerful. She's helping a ton of people, and so I lined up 10 testimonials while I was there. So I was in the drawing room of Chrome Castle. Actually, I think it's pronounced Crum, although it's spelled C-R-O-M. The Earl of Erne, the 7th Earl of Erne, who, it's his castle. He says it's pronounced Crum. This dude was amazing too. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. This event was so much fun. Amazing event. 5 days in Ireland, Northern Ireland area. But we went to Belfast for a day. We went to the over and above all the networking and masterminding and presentations and all that stuff. We did a tasting tour of this really cool town in Ireland. Oh my gosh, the food was so good. And it was very well done, this tasting tour, walking tour and tasting. And probably had one of the best meals I've had at the end of it. It was at this very high-end restaurant. Oh my God, the food was good. Anyway, went to Parliament, got a tour of Parliament. Belfast. We went to the Titanic Museum. All this amazing stuff. Along with the networking and masterminding and presentations. And there was a book launch. All this stuff. But in the drawing room of Crum Castle, I set up all my gear. And I started cranking out some testimonials. And so, yeah, great question to ask. First is, at the end of this, I'm going to tell you my favoriteest questions, my most favoriteest questions to ask, which get very good responses. But I have what's called my customer story arc framework. So I am trying to get your customer's story arc. And that includes, what's their name? How did they find you? What was their state when they found you? And so depending on what you do as a coach, you can frame that question. But so what was your emotional state? Or what was your financial state? Or, what were your circumstances? Where were you? What pain were you in when you met Shelley? And then, great, now, what are the results? What's happening? And then I will ask, awesome, how do you see things moving forward? Sorry, there was that cough again. I had to hit pause and start. But where do you see things moving forward with Shelley in this case? And then things I'll do is I will ask for more color. I'll literally say, can you give me some more color around that? Or can you give me some more details around that? Can you give me specific examples around that? And that can be their pain state when they met you, or that can be the successes that they're having. And then I also ask, and this doesn't actually have to be in any particular order. It's fun to ask it in that order, but you can edit it in the order you want. So whatever questions they're answering naturally can be a great way to go. But I'll ask, what were your concerns about getting started with X, or with Shelley in this case? What were your concerns? And I'll usually try and get what we would call an internal objection as well as an external objection. And an internal objection is, I don't have time. Like, that's internal to them. And an external objection could be like, well, I was worried what my friends would think if I joined this, for example. And those all give you great sound bites that you can use in your marketing. But here we are, favorite questions. But my favorite questions to ask, there's two of them. At the end, I'll ask, hey, imagine I asked So I asked all 10 of the testimonials I got for Shelley Ziani at Crum Castle. And I'd say, hey, imagine I'm Shelley. Imagine I'm Shelley sitting here right in front of you, and you have an opportunity to thank me for what I've done for you. I want you to go ahead and thank me. And oh my gosh, then you just close your mouth and let them answer. And the answers are oftentimes very inspired. There's usually some emotion. So a few of the people were definitely crying tears of joy and love and, just admiration. And so many good things were said. So it was really beautiful. And then the other question I like to ask is there anything that you would be remiss that you didn't say? Like when we're done with this interview and you go, man, I wished I'd have said this, or I wished I'd have said that. So now's your chance. And so then they'll say, oh yeah. Oftentimes it's like, whoever's watching this, take the risk, spend the money. It's absolutely worth it. I was so nervous and, the payoff has been amazing or what have you. You get just these really cool responses of what people are hoping to get a chance to say that maybe the questions that you ask they felt like it didn't give them an opportunity to answer it. So definitely ask, is there anything that you would be remiss if you didn't get to say? Now's your chance. And then the other is, now's your opportunity to thank me for what I've done for you. So thank me, and then let it rip. Okay, everybody have a good day. And of course, subscribe, like, look, follow, and go to testimonialguy.com. There's resources there. You can schedule an appointment with me to talk about how I can help you. I've got my perfect video testimonial system that you can use to grab your perfect video testimonials from your customers and other fun stuff. Okay. Love to all.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.